These two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
It's the OG edition of Write That Down Wednesday here on the OG Score North podcast. And Judd's in the OG studio, the 1500 ESPN studio today.
Look at that signage behind me, huh? Little 1500 ESPN, Twin Cities.
Time for your 1500 ESPN sports update.
Would have been a big day
Judd Zolgad.
on Tuesday. Little Rocco Baldelli's been fired. Where will the Twins turn next? I could have played some canned sound from
Throw it to a
Falvey.
soundbite over here.
Yep.
Derek Falvey, word salad for 30 seconds. Yeah.
And here's what Derek Falvey had to say about the big job that's ahead of him as a Twins official. And now on to the Wild, a big day. It's Kirill Kaprizov has signed a huge contract. Breaking news.
Coming up next, it's Judd and Fun on 1500 ESPN. No, it's Judd and Dubé. Wait, no, it's Mackey and Judd. Judd can't keep a co-host.
And then don't forget the Vikings in jolly old England. God, I hate sports
radio. Before we get to our Write That Down predictions and our accountability session here, AJ, what's happening on Underdog right now? I know Dex is at home with a baby in one arm and Underdog open on the other hand in his phone.
Well, a lot's happening. First off, football is back in full swing, but as we get back to NBA is right around the corner. Hockey starts in about a week here. There's not a better time to download the super simple app that is Underdog Fantasy and sign up to play. Whether it's pick'ems or fantasy drafts, Underdog has you covered. First-time users, you can play with just $5 and earn up to $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code SCORE. And send us your picks. Send us your entries. Let us know if you win. I know Declan loves seeing it. He's been telling me, like, I'm up at the wee hours of the night. I'm changing my baby. I'm trying to get him back to sleep. But the one thing that's going to put him to sleep with a smile is seeing Score listeners, PD listeners, win some pick'ems on Underdog. So go download the Underdog app. Use promo code SCORE for that new user bonus. That's Underdog. Make picks, win money.
All right, dudes.
Should we be assuming that Sonny Goff is not already placing bets through his dad?
That is highly. First of all, they're not bets, and also that would be highly questionable and not legal.
Well,
disclaimer line: Judd commentary is not representative of.
Okay,
but
the brand's views.
I would assume that he does consult his kid.
Okay, thank you.
Sonny is there for consultation on pick'em entries on the Fabulous Underdog app.
That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Sonny slips him an envelope like on the Purple Daily edition. Dad,
what if Sonny's just
you
like
can talk? What's happening? You
can talk down. What?
Yeah.
You can write?
Yeah. Hey, Dad, you don't know Jack.
Jordan Addison passing touchdowns or receiving touchdowns. Dad, here's the slip. Let me pop this up here for those who aren't familiar with Write That Down. We've been doing this on the Mackey and Judd show, and I've got the. Hold on a second. I got the wrong. Got the Twins header up here. There we go. We'll put the Mackey and Judd header.
Oh,
that's my bad.
Wow, didn't even see that.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some Twins related predictions here today, but here's how Write That Down works. It's 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. And listeners, if you want to participate as a guest predictor, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app, and we'll get you scheduled for some time down the road. AJ is going to step in and make some picks here for Dex, who's on. It's kind of like a partial paternity leave. You say, you can like take as much time as you want. He's like, I definitely need to give some hot takes on Mondays, not miss event line. And Feedback Friday is kind of fun. So I think it's like the middle chunk of the week. Or go be a dad, and then you can give takes on the fringes of the week is what he decided.
Yeah. Dex comes back for the big shows.
That's right. Only the live streams on Purple Daily.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. All right, Judd, strap in. Long accountability session, but mostly some good stuff here for you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You said Carlos Correa will have more home runs with the Astros in the regular season than he did with the Twins. He had 7 with the Twins, 6 with the Astros.
Darn it.
You said the Lynx would win the WNBA title this year. We will get to Nafisa Collier going scorched earth on the WNBA with Royce today on Royce Unchained.
That was great.
Holy cow. That was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
You said Ron Washington and or Alex Cora would be fired before the end of the season. Ron Washington out yesterday.
Yep. Bad timing on my part. I should have just said
Just fired.
during or after the season.
Alex Cora. You know what's funny? I think it was like mid-May when they traded Devers, right? That was or like end of May around that time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they were toiling, and they were below 500, and people were wondering what are they doing, man? Like the first Mookie Betts a few years ago, and now they're just going to say goodbye to another awesome player. And Alex Cora spoke to the Boston media right after that trade and basically said, "We are going to be a better team because he's gone, and you're going to see it." That culturally, or like even like defensively, that we are going to be a better team because he's gone.
And eventually, the Giants went into a massive tailspin, and Bob Melvin, their manager, got fired. So, like, Devers must be a problem in the clubhouse, right?
There's
like, he must just be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, there's something there. The Guardians will pass the Tigers to win the American League Central. Now, if you would have made that prediction in like early August or something, it would have been a home run.
I hear you.
You jumped on the wagon. You said Rocco Baldelli would be fired or step down as manager by October 5th of 2025. Nice job. Byron Buxton will remain perfect at converting stolen bases in 2025. 24 for 24. And you might say, well, that seems unlikely. Shouldn't that be a home run? I mean, you could fight for it, but he's only been caught stealing, I think, 5 times since 2019.
When did I make that prediction too? I feel like it was in the midst of him not being caught, so it wasn't like really early.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like in June you made that, or July.
Yeah, I could fight for it, but he
literally just like doesn't get caught stealing.
I'd rather save my fighting. I'd rather for egregious things that aren't given to me than that.
Yeah. You said the Wild would sign Kaprizov to an extension at some point before the season, and then you kind of built off this with a parlay that came partially true. You said Kaprizov would sign an 8-year contract with the Wild before the start of the regular season. So leg one of that parlay. And he'll score 40 or more goals. So now we need him to stay healthy, basically, right? I mean, if he stays healthy, he's scoring 40 goals.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, a few things came off the board for me. We'll start with the bad. I said there would be a game this season with fewer than 10,000 fans announced at Target Field. We got close a couple times. I think next April we're probably going to see this one.
What was the lowest attended single game? Was that the Mets game back in April?
I think so. Yeah, which was close. It was like 10,200 or something.
I saw a tweet yesterday that the Twins ended up being like, in terms of change of average per game attendance, they were 4th for like highest drop. It was like a little over 2,000 people less per game. So,
well, and I think Major League Baseball attendance is up the last few years. Yep. But the Twins are against the current of baseball.
down.
Yeah.
Baseball's going up. Twins are going down.
And their national TV ratings are up like 10 or 15% year over year. Oh. Not the Twins, baseball. And I can't imagine the Twins TV ratings were better this year than last year.
And you know what? This really, really ticks off Pete Polad. I found another poll ad. I was going through my sock drawer. I found Pete Polad's pissed. He'd like to come on the show and talk about it. Tim Polad told me he's also real upset.
It's kind of amazing though. The entire family has 1-syllable names. Bob, Carl. Carl is one, right? Carl, or is that 2? Carl. It's 1. Carl.
Yeah.
Carl.
Jim.
Carl.
Bob. Bill. Joe. Tom. I'm sure there's some multi-syllable Polad men, but they're all like very like get to the point with your first name family. Something I was thinking about this morning. Fred, Frank.
I don't even want to ask where you were thinking about this.
How about a Caleb? How about a Declan? A Declan Polad. Anyways, Royce Lewis will finish with at least 20 home runs, I said, and an OPS of at least 740. I think he only had 12 home runs. Said Buxton would hit more home runs than Cal Raleigh from the All-Star break through the end of the season. He had 14, but Cal Raleigh had like 23 or something.
Yep.
I said Matty Wallner would hit 30 jacks in 2025. Yeah. Said the Twins would part ways with Rocco Baldelli within 5 days of the final out of the season. I thought about doing 3 for a home run. Should have. I said either Falvey or Rocco won't be in their current positions with the Twins by next year's trade deadline. And I said in a 3-item Buxton parlay that I said this like before the All-Star break, that he would set career highs in wins above replacement, home runs, and walks drawn, which essentially is he'll stay healthy for the season was kind of the prediction here.
Right.
And he did. Let's go to the listeners.
Ooh.
All right, AJ, you said last week the Lynx would win Game 3 by double digits after blowing that atrocious Game 2.
Yeah, I didn't foresee. I didn't foresee the crash course that Nafisa Collier and the Lynx were on with the commissioner of the WNBA.
Yeah.
Oh, Cheryl Reeve, you mean? I have
Cheryl.
that. That was an epic meltdown.
That was great. I think
Epic.
The whole thing is just. By the way, last night, decisive Game 5, the Fever almost got to the WNBA Finals without Caitlin and Sophie. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. You said Alex said Byron Buxton would go for 30 and 30 this season, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. I thought he would chase the stolen bases a little more aggressively. The last 2-3 weeks, the season's pretty much over, and he didn't really chase it.
Mm-hmm.
Zach said there'd be at least 4 Twins players who bat 270 or better, minimum 300 plate appearances. I don't think they had any. I don't think Keyshaw had that many plate appearances. Merrick said by the end of the season, Emmanuel Rodriguez and Marco Raya would make their major league debuts.
Marco Raya, I think, had a terrible season.
Oh. Eric said we'd have 2 championship parades in Minnesota in 2025. Minnesota United's about the only one left, but that's
the Frost, right?
Yeah, Frost got.
Do we have a parade? Do we have a parade?
I think they did a celebration though.
They did have. I think Jesse Pierce hosted it.
Yeah, she.
Okay, but was it a parade?
No, I don't think it was a technical parade.
I'm just giving them props, okay?
Parade is very different than celebration, and you can give them props. I'm just saying. I'm just.
Taylor Heisey in the crew. I'm giving them props.
I'm just reading the prediction. Dylan said Brooks Lee would hit at least 300 with 20 home runs. And Riley said the Wild, the Vikings, the Wolves, and the Twins would all make the playoffs in the last calendar year. And the Wild did, the Wolves did, and the Vikings did, but then the Twins let everyone down again. But AJ, you came fighting back last week. You said Kaprizov would sign an extension before he records a point with the Wild this season. And at some point during Sunday's event at I think you might have I just read what's on the prompter here, but this I think is supposed to say Padres auto-corrected to pastas. Yeah. Declan will go on some kind of rant about his disdain for Carson Wentz. And I mean, we were there for 5 or 6 hours, and I definitely heard him jawing it up with fans about not liking Carson Wentz. So.
That might as well be a bunt single.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a layup. Unimpeded to the rim.
And then Pete said the Vikings would score 40 or more points at some point in 2025. We're giving him a touchdown for that because they historically never score 40 points. It's crazy.
Yes.
The last 20 years. And then Declan, one more chunk of accountability here. Then we'll get to our guest predictor, Brad. Cal Raleigh finishes with at least 62 home runs. He had 60. Keyshaw bats 315 or higher. I think it was, let me double check that one real quick. I just want to make sure. I think he hit 307.
Okay. I don't think he got to 315.
302.
Yeah, 302.
That's buzzer still.
That was wrong. Aaron Sabato would be called up to the Twins and hit a jack before the season's over. Keyshaw, Sabato, Austin Martin, Edward Julian will all be in the same lineup at some point. Sabato was the only one that was missing there. The Twins will have another winning streak of 6 games or more at some point in 2025. Man, did not come close to that. Trevor Larnach will spend time at first base at some point in spring training or regular season. He did not. But then Declan got these 4 correct. Kaprizov extension before Wild regular season opener. Rocco out by opening day 26. Astros missing playoffs. And in home run fashion, the Twins would win no more than 10 games of their 29 remaining as of the time of this prediction. They were a bad team. They were 60 and 73, but he said they're going to be way, way worse even. They're going to lose. They're going to go 10 and 19 basically or worse the rest of the way, which is really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, this is about as close of a team race as we've had this late in the season, Super Bowl to Super Bowl. I'm batting 304, Judd 297, Declan 295, listeners 294. All four of us separated by 10 points in batting average. Declan and listeners, 5 home runs apiece. Judd, you and me have 4 home runs apiece, or you and I have. So all of it is just scrunched together up in the air. In terms of all-time stats, Declan's the career batting average leader, 343. Judd is 17 hits away from 400. Listeners are 1 hit away from 300. Listeners with 75 career home runs lead that category. So there we go. That's the accountability session here. I'll pop this off. And let's get our guest listener predictor, Brad, in the mix.
Hey, how's it going?
Coming back to the show, Brad. What's going on, man? You got your Vikings hat on there. What's your diagnosis of this team right now?
Trending down. What was the stock down, stock up, or stock down? Definitely stock down. I do not like the way that the line is going, the offensive line.
Yeah.
They can't.
They're going backwards.
You were talking about that 14% sack rate being like the third highest in 30 years or whatever, 20 years. I don't think that's going to bode well going forward.
Yeah, we went back to 1990 to find that sack rate, and what's crazy is like of the 10 worst sack rates since 1990, 4 of them are from 1992. So I don't know what was happening in that. I mean, Lawrence Taylor was still around, and Derek Thomas had taken the league by Reggie White. Yeah.
We were throwing guys aside like rag dolls, and it drew no flags at the time. It was great. It was football.
That's right. Just assaults on quarterbacks. So, all right, let's get into it here. Brad, you're going to make your first prediction over to Judd, AJ, and then myself, and we'll make 3 trips around the room. So if you're ready, Brad, let's fire this thing up.
Write it down. You like writing?
Yeah, so I got 1 Twins 1, 1 Vikings 1, and 1 T-Wolves 1 here. So I'm going to start off with the Twins. So I joined you guys for that fundraiser, the Courage Kenny on the balcony against the White Sox there, and I think I've been to more upbeat funerals than that game.
Well put.
I mean, it was a good time hanging out with you guys and stuff, but
Thank you.
And with all the stuff coming out with, like, they can't get out of their own way. They're doing these cherry-picked interviews with the Star Tribune, and like they still can't even get out of their own way with cherry picking who they talk to. But I was thinking of maybe a new moniker or a new nickname for them, the Tone Deaf Gaslighters.
Wow.
Good band.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's a great band. I like them.
It's like folk rock, I think.
Yeah, because they have no idea. Like, they step in it every time they talk, and then they also try to make you feel stupid.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this year the opening day payroll for 2025 was about 144 million, and according to Spotrac, right now 2026 they only have just under, I think, 49 million committed. So write this down: the 2026 opening day payroll will be less than $80 million.
Wow. Which would be the lowest, I think, since like 2007,
So
2008.
would that be a home run?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that would be a home run. I think under 100 is a home run.
Yeah.
Just because of how long it's been since there was a year like early in Target Field where they had it, I think, down under 100 for a minute and then bumped it back up with like Ricky Nolasco. But
I'm not terribly confident that they're going to keep Pablo around either, because he's making some money.
Yeah, that's the key one.
I think one of those two guys, him or Joe, are gone. So yeah, and Pablo makes sense. I mean, he doesn't make sense. It will make sense to them.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Judd. What's
All
your
right.
first prediction here?
So according to the our friends, since we use them so much at the Action Network, the Gophers are 21-point underdogs on Saturday against Ohio State at the Shoe. 21-point dogs. The Buckeyes will not cover that spread. The Gophers, I think they'll lose, but I don't think they're going to get beat by 3 touchdowns. I think they'll keep it closer than that with my guy, Drake Lindsey. Drake Lindsey, future NFL quarterback at the helm. That guy has Brosmer's got the smarts, and I like him a lot, but when I look at Drake Lindsey, I see a guy that could play pro.
He's a stud, man. 300 yards against Rutgers. He can play a little bit.
He's a stud.
Is he a sophomore or is he...
Redshirt freshman,
Redshirt freshman.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the problem is he's going to get interest. Like he's going to have some big time programs or texting him, "You up, Alabama?"
100%, dude. He will literally cost you millions and millions of dollars to keep him over the next 2 years because he has to stay for 2 more years minimum before he's eligible. You have to be 3 years removed from high school, right?
Oh,
so before you can be eligible for the draft. So you got for 2 more for this year and then the next year, you've got to find a way to pay that dude.
Write this down.
A lot of money.
Pay the man.
Yep. All right, AJ.
I'm gonna stick with Brad and go Twins related here for my first one. So I'm gonna say write this down. If the Pohlads end up retaining ownership for however long, the next manager of the Twins will not make it more than 3 full seasons. I feel like no matter what it is, it's going to be a train wreck for whoever it is. I feel like in baseball, you have to give them some time, but like you're not going to get more than 3 years. They're just going to be set up to fail. So whoever the next manager is will not make it 3 full seasons.
So they're okay. Got it. So they will be fired or quit or whatever it is,
or part
within
ways
3
or
seasons.
announce, something like that.
Okay.
Changing
Dark times.
careers.
Write this down.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into insurance. See you guys later. Bye.
Dark times ahead. I'm gonna take something Jalen Clark, noted Timberwolves bench player, said at Media Day, and I'm gonna make it a prediction.
Write this down.
He said, if I can shoot 40% from 3 and guard the opposing team's best player, then I will be playing a lot of minutes. But those are my 2 focuses: defense, on-ball defense, and threes. So write this down. At the end of the season, Jalen Clark will indeed shoot 40% from 3. I'm going to say, AJ, I want the roundup. I'm going to say 39.5% from 3.
Okay.
And it's a parlay. He will also have one of the Timberwolves' 3 best defensive net ratings among players who played at least, 200 minutes. We'll just set a bar there. So like Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels, I think, were the 2 best defensive net ratings on the team last year, and Jalen Clark was like 5th. So I'm going to quantify that statement on behalf of Jalen Clark.
Write this down.
Write down. Okay, Brad, what's your second prediction?
So, like I mentioned, I feel like the Vikings are trending down a bit because of the offensive line, of course, but both lines, they can't really stop the run. So, last year, I feel like everything free agency wise that Kwesi touched turned to gold. Cashman, Van Ginkel, Grenard. This year, not so much. Kind of turning into a pumpkin a little bit.
Oh.
So I feel like this season's I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, and they're a little bit over the cap, or a lot over the cap for next year. But so write this down: 3 of these 4 current Vikings will not be on the 2026 opening day roster. Ryan Kelly, Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Allen, or TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah.
They're just being paid too much. And, like in the case of the defensive linemen, we got Levi Drake Rodriguez, we got Jalen Redmond, they're stepping up. I just feel like with the cap issues and the way things are trending, and TJ Hawkinson, I don't think he has any more guaranteed money left to be paying him over $20 million a year to throw a couple blocks and maybe catch a 6-yard pass. Like I don't feel like that's worth it.
Yeah.
So,
Write this down. Yeah, Hawkinson's a big decision. He's a big decision going into next year, Judd.
What happened to the guy that they acquired in week 8, came into Washington, caught 8 Kirk Cousins passes, got the big contract. I mean, I know he tore up his knee, but it just underwhelming comes to mind.
Yep.
Underwhelming.
Yep.
All right. All right. So I was actually inspired by our discussion after we did our predictions on Purple Daily. So I'm going to carry a Vikings-Browns prediction into this one since I already had given my 3 earlier. Dylan Gabriel, who's going to start for the Browns. Joe Flacco's been benched. Dylan Gabriel will not finish the game on Sunday. He'll start it, but he won't finish it. I'm not predicting, by the way, I am not wishing injury on him. He's a young man with a bright career in something ahead of him. I appreciate that, but I don't think he's going to finish the game. I think it's going to be, again, rookie quarterbacks against Brian Flores. Coach defenses are 1-9. 1-9. I think it's going to be a struggle, so he won't finish the game.
It's going to be rough.
Write this down.
It's going to be rough. AJ, second prediction.
I was watching a lot of the wild card games yesterday, and it got me kind of in the baseball postseason mood more than I was, just seeing kind of like the crowd atmosphere. But I'm gonna just call a shot here and say, write this down: the Seattle Mariners will win the World Series.
Oh,
it's not the most
just based off vibes.
Just based off vibes. I think they got the team to do it. I like their path to the World Series because they're getting the winner of it should be Cleveland and Detroit. I know Detroit won that game yesterday, but they had such a terrible, terrible end of the season. And after that, I'm not fully sold on the Yankees or Red Sox, whoever they have to face out of there. And then it's a matter of probably taking down the Phillies or Dodgers.
Dude, how about the just quick detour because you brought up the Red Sox-Yankees game. How about the 9th inning? So it's was it 3-1? I think it was 3-1, right? Yeah, it was 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
And you had you had Goldschmidt, Aaron Judge, and who's batting third for the Yankees?
Bellinger.
And Cody Bellinger against Aroldis Chapman, and 5 pitches, 3 singles, boom, 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 bases loaded, nobody out. And you got Giancarlo Stanton coming up. You had then you had like some pop coming up there, and he just he just took a deep breath, started throwing even harder, and just mowed those dudes down. Bang, bang, bang.
He's 37. He has been pitching in the big league since 2010, and Joe Madden, rightfully so, did his best to ruin his career when the Cubs won the World Series. How is this still possible?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. He's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer when it's all
Joe Madden threw that dude out there every single time he could possibly, and he should have. And then Aroldis went back to the Yankees, and we all said, okay, he's fried. He's going to finish up there. He had 32 saves this season.
It's pretty crazy.
Write this down.
Okay, write this down. And we can talk more about this on the Twin Show. So, Duke, we're going to do a special Twin Show with Doogie today, but Torrey Hunter will not interview will not interview or be hired by the Twins for their open managerial position.
That'd be unreal if they hired him without interviewing him.
Yeah. So I think they would probably interview him. But I'm making this prediction because I want to emphasize, I want to be right. I don't want to be right. I'd like him to be the manager. But I want to when they don't hire him or even entertain him, I would like to at least profit on this show for their negligence in maintaining that relationship. The fact that he basically has been estranged from the team relationship-wise for 5 years, and the fact that they have a managerial opening, he wants to be a manager, and it's all Angels talk instead of any sort of Twins talk. And you could debate whether he'd be a good manager or not, but the fact that it's not even a discussion to talk to a guy like that is an indictment on where the organization's at. So, Torrey Hunter. Okay, back over to Brad for third and final prediction.
All right, so here's the T-Wolves one. I don't know after making 2 Western Conference finals consecutively, the West is so tough. This isn't part of my prediction, but I almost feel like they could maybe be in the play-in because it's so tough. You never know. It's just an injury here, something, somebody misses some time. But anyway, so I was looking at the schedule, like the early season schedule, and everybody likes a good, revenge game. So I remember, last year when the Knicks came to town and, everybody got on their knees for Cat and he
Boy.
like, that was just, I don't know, whatever, I didn't like that, but then they really put it to us. I think we had the backups in like most of the second half or something. But anyways, we play the Knicks coming up on November 5th, and I think that they made a huge mistake by firing Tibbs after going farther than they've gone in a long time.
Yep.
So write this down, when we play the Knicks on November 5th, the T-Wolves will win the game, and Ant will have more than 25 points or more, and Cat will have 25 points or less.
Okay. Yeah, I think I agree on the firing of Tibbs. Not the biggest Tibbs guy, but his teams perform, and they went to fire him after that is pretty wild.
Write this down.
So, Brad, good stuff with your predictions. Since you've got this platform again, is there anyone you'd like to thank in your life that helped you get here today?
Oh yeah, definitely. My beautiful girlfriend Rebecca. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary. We went down to Nashville, had a great time down there. We watched that Vikings-Falcons game, bellied up, and let's just say 8 Captain Cokes and a couple beers later. It wasn't great. But she's always down to go to a game, watch a game with me. If I'm into it, she's into it. We're on a co-fantasy football team this year for the first time, so I just really love her and appreciate the fact that she is into that stuff, even if she's not into it.
Yeah. Rebecca.
Yeah.
Love it, man. That's awesome. Sounds like you got a good life partner there, Brad. Awesome, man. Good luck with your predictions.
All right.
Cross your fingers on this London game, and we'll talk to you again sometime down the road, man.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. There he is. Guest listener predictor, Brad. Before we get to our final predictions here, MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning is here for, it's going to be cold soon, Judd. You want to be prepared.
Exactly right. Yeah, it's been warm outside, but do not be fooled by that. The cold is coming in this month. MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air is here to ensure that your home, folks, stays warm and comfortable.
At MSP.
Oh, that one's got volume on it.
Sorry about that.
I think
no, it's not your
fault. I think that's
dude.
I think that's the new one. Anyway,
that's 100% my fault for loading that in there, AJ.
Anyway, trust the experts in plumbing, heating, and air. MSP is your local carrier dealer, by the way, delivering quality and reliability. October is the perfect time to get your HVAC system checked before the cold does hit. So schedule a tune-up now to help prevent unexpected breakdowns during the peak of winter. A quick inspection can identify minor issues before they turn into costly repairs. When you choose Carrier, you're investing in a system that keeps your home comfortable and saves you money on energy bills. So visit their website, call MSP.com, or give them a call, 651-615-4292, to learn more about MSP's service and also Carrier products.
Yeah, you can just delete that one out of their age, and we'll put some non-volume beat. I was trying to be helpful last week, like, Dex is, he's just sweating bullets. He's slept 3 hours. Like, hey, I'll load some of this B-roll in from this email thread. Like, no, just fumbled it right there. Hey, Green Mill Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Very tasty. That iconic Green Mill restaurant brand, that legendary flavor of award-winning Green Mill restaurant pizzas can now be found in the grocery store and enjoyed inside your house. Tavern-style pizza, also breadsticks and sauces, all available at your local grocer. So find out more about this amazing pizza and also this amazing iconic brand at greenmillfoods.com.
Write this down.
All right. Quickly here, we'll make one more trip around the room. Judd, your final prediction?
Okay, I will take your Torrey prediction and just make it as simple as possible. Torrey Hunter will be named manager of the Angels, replacing Ron Washington. Yeah, he's going to get that job.
I'm going to save a rant for the Twin Show.
He's going to get that job. He's going to get that job.
Yeah. Okay, AJ.
All right, my final one. I'm just going to go up vibes from the Wild preseason. Wow. Matt Boldy's been tearing it up. So write this down. Matt Boldy will have his first 40-goal season of his career. At least 40 goals scored for the Wild this year.
Yeah. Could have a couple 40-goal scorers then, huh?
Yeah,
Couple
could be
That's
Right.
the plan, Stan.
Huh?
Rizzo over to Boldy.
Well,
The what?
Koivu, Scandella.
Parise?
Okay, write this down. Judd, you said the Gophers are gonna cover. How far do I want to take this? I think the Gophers are going to be feisty in Columbus on Saturday night. Write this down. The Gophers will be tied or leading Ohio State in the second half of that game.
wow.
Tied or leading in the second half of that game. Write it down.
Wow.
Is that a
Drake
touchdown
Lindsey.
or a home run? It's got to be. AJ says yes.
I'm thinking on it. I'm thinking on it.
I just don't think it has a chance of happening.
Does it have a 20% chance of happening?
Less. I think it's single digits.
You know what? I'm coming to take your row away. Your rower, I'm taking it away because you're not rowing the boat at all.
Are you saying it's not a? What are you saying? It's not a home run,
I'm saying I'm taking your oar away because you don't believe in PJ Fleck.
No, I'm saying they're going to lead in the second half.
No, AJ.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
AJ.
I'm a St. Cloud grad.
Never mind.
That's fine. I like doing it for the bit. But Ohio State on the road, they're not even going to be close to tied or leading in the second half.
Skyuma, row the boat.
Okay.
Go Gophers.
All right. There's the predictions, the accountabilities, the OG edition of Write That Down on Mackey and Judd. We'll see you guys. Row the boat. Skyuma.